Well, hello, Capricorn. This is going to be your reading from now to the end of the month. So let's. Oh Lord, my internet done stopped. Lord knows what's happening. Here we go. But anyhow, thank you for being here. I hope that everything is amazing for you. And if you're new, hello, my name is Amber. It's so nice to meet you. If you're returning, thank you for lending your energy to this channel and being a part of this loving community. I love you all so much. We got our people here, but for the most part, we're extremely loving community, and I appreciate that. Please remember to like if you find something here that can help you out. Share if you know someone who could benefit from this information, because we love to share healing here. And subscribe if you want to hear more from me and the messages that Spirit has for you. So let's get into it. Spirit guide, guardian angel, divine energy, universal energy, what do you have for Capricorn from now until the end of this month of February? What would you like for them to know, pay attention to, or be aware of at this time? Only allowing truth, honesty, love, and acceptance within this space. Capricorn. Capricorn. Capricorn, this is what's so funny. I feel like you have some really sexy attributes about you around this time. And if you're looking to find love, and I'm not even going to say love, but if you're looking to find someone to spend some time with, this is a good time to do it. I almost get this feeling like you're seducing someone without even knowing it. Okay? It's like you're not even trying, but someone is really attracted to you. And I don't even want to say someone. I feel like there's a plethora of options. Some good, some bad. Some will say something, some won't. But you just seem very attractive to me during this time. Also, don't settle. Okay? So, Capricorn, you've been going on a journey of expressing yourself. In love and in all aspects of your life. And speaking your mind, speaking your feelings, getting your situation out there, You've been definitely going on a journey with yourself. It's a journey of enlightenment. It's a journey of you have all of these ideas or feelings and things that you want, and how to properly express those things to make them a reality. Through communicating, through realizing that there are two sides to every situation, and a sense of enlightenment, that there are two sides to a situation, that you should just be open. I feel like you're not as focused on things, like sometimes you can be really focused on a certain person or a certain situation, certain career and things like that. And this is more of being able to see the wider picture and being able to bring into your life what is truly meant to be yours. So during this time, because you found this space, and I feel like because you've been by yourself too, you're learning how to express that emotionally as well. So it's like you're speaking your mind. You're speaking a lot of your mind, not as much as achieving goals, but speaking it into reality. Not really holding yourself back and things like that. Now it's time for you to get your emotions involved in that process as well. So realizing that you're worth something, you don't have to settle for things. Being and walking towards your throne. And being able to sit in it, be confident and happy in your life and what surrounds you. It's like being able to sit in your throne and look out among the things that you have built and be like, I'm happy with these things. And sometimes you have to leave things behind to do that. Sometimes you have to take efforts that you don't really feel comfortable with in a moon way. So it's like you have to deal with these shadow parts of yourself to achieve them. But making those things happen for yourself. Definitely by the end of this month, moving into March, you're going to be a lot clearer. Your foundations will be different. I actually feel like you're going to find something, someone, or a position that makes you happy with your life. And you're going to be very ready to build off of that. So I feel like there was a lot of learning involved, Capricorn, getting here to where you are. This time is about you possibly being tested and standing up for yourself. And in that energy, you will be rewarded with a new beginning moving into March. Okay? A new beginning in the way you think about things, in love and career, whatever it is that you is your next focus. I don't want to say that you have been focusing on, but like your next focus. Okay? Oh, if you need a private reading, links in the description box below. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. You can also go to this website up here. I just realized I had the wrong tab up. I do this religiously, it seems like. But you can go there as well. The first thing I want to say before we get started is there's big energy here about releasing things that you're trying to hold on to, okay? This is not the time to hold on to things or hope that something will work out. This is a time of clearing so you can create or so you can allow new things to come in. But you're not going to really have to do it. I feel like it's just going to these things that shouldn't be there are kind of going to phase themselves out. So no matter how hard you hold on to it, it's going to phase itself out. I mean, you have free will, so you can still hold on to these things. But it's just going to be so awkward and so attention grabbing, I want to say, that it just, you're going to know that it's time to let it go. But, essentially it's up to you. If you decide to go through that kind of energy and hang on to it, that's up to you. But you'll definitely know. It won't be a question. Okay, Capricorn. So here we have the Queen of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign. But, I mean, it could be any. My spirit guides don't work like that with me. I don't read like that. So it could be any sign. But I feel like you have tried to be nurturing of a situation. You've tried your best to put your heart into it, to put some care into it and see what will develop. I also see you putting care into yourself as well. And it's interesting because for some of you, you're giving something another chance just to see what will play out, or just to see if it's a good position for you. But your intuition's going to kick in, They're saying March. March is like the finish line for me, for you. Some of you, it's going to last until March, but I just feel like you're going to start caring more about yourself. Yeah. You're going to be facing some issues. Either someone's going to come back into your life, or you're going to be presented with a situation that you got to close out. It's going to be one of those things where it's just time for it to be dealt with. It's time for the situation to be handled. So you don't have to hold on or be a part of it any longer, or it won't hold you back. It won't be a question in your mind anymore. Where okay. It won't be a question anymore, and where it used to be a question in your life. Or something you haven't quite dealt with is going to come back around so you can finish it out. It's just like getting rid of old energy or clearing out old connections. In every aspect of your life. You have the opportunity to do that here. So I feel like you're in a really good and balanced spot, Capricorn. And you're in a very patient spot where you can, if you're presented with something, you can take the time to balance it out or look at both sides. You're not trying to rush. You're not trying to push things through. And what's so interesting is they're telling me it's a gift. So this patience that you're feeling, this smoothness that you're feeling is like a gift from spirit because you're not so amped about making things work. I mean, I just feel like you're in a good, balanced spot. For some of you, you're being presented with a good and balanced spot, and you're in a situation that you've been giving too much patience to. Either way, you're being presented with an opportunity to look at things at both sides. It's like things start to slow down in your mind and you're able to see clearly. Right? It's like the veil is lifted for a brief moment so you can see, and then drop back down to see how you're going to react. If you're going to listen to that guidance, or how you're going to handle it. I feel like you're going to be questioning that moment? Like, is that truth? Is it not? Is it going to block my progress forward? Is it going to help me? What does this mean? I've been through a lot. I don't really want to go back there. I like the position that I'm in, and I feel comfortable here, and I feel like I should be able to defend that. But at the same time that veil was lifted and that truth was presented to you, you're like, it planted a seed. Not a seed of doubt, but a seed of that things aren't fully clear and that there's something else that needs to be worked on. And it kind of gave you like that inspiration or that spark to deal with that aspect of your quest. So it's like having that shadow moment, that shadow situation in your life that's just kind of under wraps or under the soil or however you want to picture it. And then digging in your soil of your life and in your emotions and your situation and seeing a glimpse of that and realizing that you haven't quite gotten rid of it. When I was doing a reading today, I got this vision of weeds. So in a garden, you can pull up the weeds all you want to, but they're still under the ground. And sometimes when you're digging in one area, you'll see the roots of the weed and realize that you hadn't gotten them all. That's the energy that it feels like. So I feel like you're on your quest. You're on your journey. You're doing your thing. But there's still some remnants of either an old relationship, an old situation, old habits that need to be closed out. And now that you've gotten a glimpse of that, you can actually start working on that or putting that energy towards that thing. So for some of you, there's definitely going to be a love offer. It's so interesting because I feel like either you or this person has the utmost patience for you. And that makes it hard because I feel like either you want to hold on to this or they want to hold on to you. And that's all fine and dandy. But I feel like the love isn't fully there. It's like there's this idea or they have this lighthearted, magical idea towards love. And you're not seeing that. You're looking for something more stable and something real and something that you can deal with for a long period of time. And you don't fully feel like this is what this is. So I get this energy of you could deal with it if you wanted to. But since you're in a different wavelength, you're not just going to deal with something. You want something that's going to satisfy you for the long haul. And there, in that glimpse, you don't feel like that's going to be it. So I do feel the fact that this came up, it just kind of happened at the right time. And you were able to open up that door again so you can close it. Because that's what it feels like. Like it opens up so you can deal with whatever it is or organize that room or that part of your life and then just close it. Okay? But dealing with that just feels like a burden. It feels like a lot of things to deal with. But it's like you have to walk in that room to deal with it. You can close the door and ignore it, but the mess or the situation is still there. And by allowing yourself to, I don't want to say humble, but allowing yourself the grace, allowing that grace in to open that door and organize that room or deal with that situation so you can fully let that go and let that space be there for something else to occupy it is going to make you feel like everything is under control or that you have the situation under control. It gives a new renewal to your life. Okay. It allows you to dig deep into that particular situation and release that burden, um, so you can move forward or make that choice. But I feel like once you open that door, you're really going to have to dig deep and decide if you want to allow that weed to grow, or you're going to pull it out of that area of dirt, you know? It's going to be a hard decision, because I see that if you continue to deal with it, it's going to continue to be a list of burdens and issues and things to deal with. You really got to think about if you want to hold on to this. But I feel like since this has begun, it's shortly after that you realize that there were problems or issues. Okay. Yeah, because you've been in this very like soft, I just get this very soft mood, kind of letting things flow, just kind of going about things. A lot of situations or opportunities have been coming towards you, because you have initiated this sort of lax feeling. I feel like people feel like you are more relaxed, but in all actuality, you are in control of your situation and your life, or the things that are important to you. You've healed yourself emotionally, that you're not out searching for something or trying to make something work that doesn't need to. You're just kind of like relaxed, you know? Like I said, you do have your guard up though. For some of you, this translates as you not really knowing what you want. So just staying in the position that you're in, not allowing anything in or out at the same time. Kind of watching, seeing what's happening, still involved in something. For those of you who are in relationships, for those of you who aren't, you aren't really starting anything either. I mean, like really starting anything. Because it feels like there's problems. I don't know how to explain this. It's very nonchalant. It's kind of like, okay, or not. I don't know how else to explain that. Yeah, I feel like that little glimpse that's opening up for you, is showing you that by being stagnant and by allowing yourself to go through a situation that doesn't really make you happy, or a situation that lets you continuously hit a brick wall, is not where you should be. Okay, so it's like that glimpse of reality, that gives you that spark of energy that you deserve more or want more in your life, you know? Yeah, I feel like some of you are getting clear on something that, you probably were hopeful for or about. And it's like just this glimpse of reality, and realizing that you don't have to be worried about something. You don't have to be so deeply involved in it. Holding on to, yeah, something it could be somebody in the past, because I see that with the Six of Cups. It could be previous memories or a previous attitude, that you don't have to hold on to it. Just because you have an offer this month or this half of the month, Capricorn, doesn't mean that you should take it. Okay? You are in a position now where you can make better decisions. You don't have to settle for anything, okay? Some of you some of you feel like if you keep holding on to it, if you keep working on something, that it'll eventually turn into something stronger. But what are you holding on to? I feel like these are just thoughts that you're telling yourself, but in all actuality, you're not getting the nurturing that you need. This relationship isn't really cultivating anything. It's it's stable, like boop 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 boop, but there's no peaks. You know what I mean? There's no there's no anything. And I feel like you're starting to see that. The Wheel of Fortune, eventually you're going to see that things are out of balance. And that's a gift from Spirit as well. And that's that moment where the curtain goes up, you see the truth, and then it drops down. So you have a decision to make. And it feels like it drops down to me because it's almost so brief that you're like, is that just me thinking something bad, or is that my intuition? And you're not quite sure, you know? Yeah, you definitely get this feeling or this moment where things are just out of balance. You and this person or this situation just doesn't meet eye to eye, and you realize that you're just holding on to it for the wrong reasons. Definitely. So, yeah, you have this opportunity to end this. It'll almost make you feel better to end this. See that separation? It's like you'll find more security in your future by not trying to hold on to something that isn't 100%. Yeah. And that inspiration that you got when that curtain raised up, yeah, it's time for you to really figure out and dive deep about why you felt the need to hold on to this and it wasn't your 100%. Okay? That is going to help you reveal some things about you. This is a good time to journal about that information. Um, like figure out why you felt the need to hold on to that. Why you felt the need to try to solidify something that you know wasn't 100. Like, why did you choose to settle for something? It's a really good time to figure that out. So when you move into March, you can release that and really start fresh. Okay? Yeah. You're starting to see that holding on to that burden or holding on to whatever this is was superficial. You wanted something, you wanted to build something, you wanted something for the future, but that's not what you were getting here. And it's almost like you knew that, you know? So it's almost a reveal that your emotions are not as in check as you think they are. Your reality isn't as in check as you think it is. And to the fact that you were trying to jump on, they're showing me like a train. Like you were trying to jump on this train of mediocreness instead of the exceptional opportunities that you could have. You know, it's worth balancing something that you feel 100% about, like trying that. But to try to balance something that's like 70% is not very ideal, you know? I feel like you're going to assess this both of your situations and directions. Because if this is somebody, Capricorn, I just really feel like this person is really into this. You know what I mean? Um, and they're okay with things being mediocre and they're happy with it being mediocre, but you're not. You're not. I don't feel like you're at a broken or weak point that you would accept this either. you know? Okay, so let's go into your oracle cards. All right, Capricorn, let's go into your cards, your oracle cards, I should say, and see what's going on. All right, Capricorn. You're in a beautiful space right now. Um, you're in a beautiful space right now where you can look at things differently. So it's time to pull from that sense of innocence, as this card says. To think of things as in the eyes of a child, and just be very happy and optimistic with life, and to be able to be there. So, so you have to be optimistic about what's to come. And in that optimism, you'll find your happiness, or you'll find your direction in that optimism. So when it comes to love, also I'm getting this talk. This change, or these things, are things that have settled in your life and you've become accustomed to, are kind of coming up into the forefront so you can make changes in those situations. Okay, it's Spirit's way of confronting you with shadow parts of yourself that you have to close out or deal with, so you can see like deeper line situations. So when it comes to love, you have to realize that you deserve everything that you want. Everything, okay? And you don't have to settle, and allow yourself to want for something more than what it is that you have been getting or that you are getting, okay? What's so interesting about your career is I feel like you need to speak with someone who is successful in the route that you're going, okay? Or someone who has been there longer, so you can talk to them about tips and tricks. So I feel like when it comes to career, you've kind of hit your limit and you need some inspiration almost, okay? Or some sort of change when it comes to your career. But it's like, I feel like speaking to someone, or watching some sort of informative video on YouTube, or speaking with a coach, or getting a reading, whatever that is for you, will help you get fresh eyes on a situation when it comes to your career, if you are feeling stuck. Some of you are getting some of you who are in spiritual work or are light workers are going to get some downloads, and you really need to start listening to those, okay? Because that's what they're telling me. You're going to start getting some downloads, some inspirations, and they're also saying, this is so interesting. For those of you who have had issues with trying to meditate or find space to clear or finding a moment to get your messages, you're going to start getting messages in specific times. Some of you, it'll be 3 o'clock in the morning. Some of you, it'll be in the shower. Some of you, it'll be right before bed. And this is Spirit's way of trying to let you know that this is the time. This is the time of the day that you spend with Spirit and you. So for instance, if it's the shower, every time you get into the shower, cleanse your space, take a deep breath, and just listen to what comes in. This is going to be your meditative space for the time being, or that space dedicated to that. So it's almost like Spirit's way of to get you to take this designated time to listen, because this is a good time for you to listen. Okay? All right. So thank you so much for listening, and I love you very much. If you need a private reading, links in the description box below, or you can go to this website here, and I will be happy to help you. I love you so much. Bye-bye.